So officially, good morning.
Good
Um,
morning.
since we met last time, we had discussed a bunch of different topics, and what I did is I went back and I polled everyone, and then I summarized everything, and I put together the schedule for the year. So this is all our training topics, beginning this month in February, going through December. So we're going to start with value creation, monthly outreach. This is, for salespeople, what they can do to create value on a regular basis. Next month, we're going to work more with the referral generator and look at different strategies for maximizing your use of that. And then in April, we'll come back and we're going to focus on the online sales counselor process. So, Yvonne, I know you're close to having that in
Yep.
place, and Star, we've talked about that, and Robin, you're already doing it, and Cindy. So we're going to focus heavily on that process. And then we will move on to, I think, in May, which will be model home conversions, maximizing your efficiencies in model homes. So that'll be more from the prospect to buyer. Sales conversions for online sales counselor will be lead to prospect. June, we're going to look at lead generation stuff, and we have a lot of new lead generation things coming online right now, and even another one that I just am testing out as well. And then we'll move into in July, I think we're going to look at task management for salespeople, so really how to structure your week and to be most efficient with your time. Then we'll move into August for offline lead generation strategies, signage, print, events, that sort of thing. Come back in September for scope creep, and to look at some different things there for presenting pricing and avoiding scope creep. And then we'll, in October, we'll look at, again, value creation from specifically just video, different things you could do with video. We're going to talk about that a little bit today, too. November will be online call to actions, events, online sales counselor, again, and filtering lead process. And then December, we're back in it to business plans again. So that is our that's what we're going to be discussing. And today, since my PowerPoint completely went poof, I'm going to just jump right into what I had pulled up here for different ways you can create value for a salesperson. We're going to focus on what can a salesperson do on a monthly basis to help create value. And remember, marketing is simply creating value for your service or product. So this is essentially marketing. And we're going to focus on three things here today. One is going to be on e-announcements. The other one is going to be on social media. And then the third one we're going to look at is social media, third one, events. Thank you, events. So to start with, what is the content? I think it's Yvonne, I was watching the video that you shot in Las Vegas where you were I think giving a testimonial for my services, and one of the things you kept harping on was, how do I be relevant? How do I be relevant? I'm thinking about that every day. How can I be relevant to my prospects? And that's really the key to creating value, is what is relevant content you can put out there. So if we go back and look at specifically from just a basic needs, what are your leads and prospects looking for? It always boils down to three things: design, pricing, and location. That's the three things that they're always looking for. So if you want to be relevant, do something that is going to focus on one of those three core areas: design, pricing, and location. So I think the first thing we're going to talk about is e-announcements, because I see this is probably one of the most underused areas in the system. The e-announcements are set up so that the salesperson or sales manager can create a group email on a regular basis. And as that group email is created, it's going to really, you want to fill it full of core content that's going to relate around design, pricing, or location. So this is in online learning, and if you haven't been in here lately, if you click on the e-announcements section, I have a resource guide here for creating e-announcements. I think the main thing to remember with e-announcements is it's really that once-a-month touch point. That once-a-month touch point is that you should be sending out, as a salesperson, one e-announcement per month to all of your leads and prospects. at a minimum once per month. And this is exclusive of events. So I know a lot of you are running events and you're going to do the event manager, and so they're going to get invited to the event. But the e-announcement can be tailored to a specific salesperson or even a specific community. So it's very, very important. So there's all tutorials on here on how to use e-announcements. There's no reason why each salesperson should not be sending an e-announcement once per month. So if you click on this number 2, the resource for creating e-announcements, download the tutorial. I went ahead and did that. And I'm just going to pull this up, make it a little bit larger so you guys can see it. But really, what I put together here is just some suggested topics for e-announcements. And if you're going to do a company-wide e-announcement, so this would be more from sales manager or owner coming out, 6 different ideas here, anywhere from a new employee you might have hired, it could be a new designer or architect that you're working with, new locations, services you might be offering, general housing news, interest rates, permit data, and housing prices. For those of you that are, that have people that use FHA, of course, there was a big announcement in January where FHA dropped their monthly mortgage premium by quite a bit, I think 40%. So that dramatically changed, how people might look at FHA. Interest rates are incredibly low right now. Permit data, as far as, if the market's heating up in your area or you have a lack of available home sites. But anything like that, price appreciation. It's great information to put out on that housing news. Any events that might fall outside of the event campaign manager that you're doing. Once in a while we have homes that are closing that don't really justify doing a full-fledged event, but you might want to do some private showings. And as an example to this, back in the Stone Age when I was selling, I did a monthly newsletter, and all I did was I simply took my work in process list, and I would say, here's a list of all the homes we have under construction. This is the plan styles, and then I would put a floor plan in there with them. This is a paper newsletter, and I would just tell people, hey, if you want to see any of these homes, just call me, and I'll do a private showing. So you could do the same thing here, that maybe you have a closing coming up and you didn't get permission to do a full event, or it doesn't make sense to do the full event. Just put an e-announcement out there and say, I've got this coming up. Would you like to see it for a private showing? Owners and Realtors Partner Rewards Program. Another one is to make sure once you start that, it's just like anything else. It takes a lot of pushing to get the flywheel moving. So you're going to have to really work at it consistently, getting the message out there that you have a rewards program, and there's no reason why an individual salesperson would not be contacting, buyers, owners, even leads and prospects, and just letting them know, hey, why would you not participate in our rewards program? You're going to, make money if you send someone our way. So a specific area in your database. Now, if you want to take your database and you want to break it down by segment, you can use the tag menu for whatever information you put in there. You can create lists for that. So other ideas here, numbers 1 through 8, and messages to your specific areas. An appreciation for an owner, for owners. This is something I like to do twice a year, once in the summertime, once in the fall around the holidays. And it doesn't have to be something where they come to you. It could be you going to them. So just letting them know that you're going to stop by, drop off a small gift, whatever it's going to be. New plan types. You guys are developing new designs all the time, and especially with some of you that are doing customs where they may not make it to your website, just to let people know you design a new home. Here's the specifics. Would you like information, to see this home, or if it's under construction, set up a time where they could meet you and do a construction walkthrough like what Yvonne's doing. A new phase opening up in a neighborhood. Obviously reaching out to your top 10 list for realtors. Events that might appeal to your specific tags. So think about this. If you are remodeling, somebody that is interested in a bathroom. One of the interesting things about bathrooms is it's really hard to showcase them, but there's a ton of people that are interested in remodeling their bathrooms. So you have a simple bathroom you could show, for a couple hours, send out an e-announcement for it. Sales updates, home site inventory updates. You get new reservations, plan deposits, homes are sold, homes are started, anything like that. People love to see updates in that, and that's great relevant information as it relates, again, to pricing and locations and design. School district boundary changes, some of you have that going on. You can be a resource for people there as well. So that's just it. I have the process all lined up on here. But again, I don't get it because this seems to me like low-hanging fruit. I see very, very few salespeople sending out their own e-announcements on any sort of consistent basis. So is this something that, is anybody doing an e-announcement right now on a regular basis each month?
No, but I like the idea.
I like it. I like it too.
The options that you've given us too.
Yeah, it doesn't have to, and it doesn't have to be. You have blog posts going on now too. So this is the simplest idea you can do. Is you have blog posts. There's 4 of them per month on different events, project updates, products that you recommend, as well as how-to stuff. You could simply do an e-announcement with links back to your blog posts, and just a couple of paragraphs with a couple of links, and let people decide what they want to read. So it's just, again, a way to continue to build value through showcasing relevant content. So this document that I just showed here is in online learning, and it is under e-announcements, and it's the link here for number 3. And then I've got a full tutorial. If any of your salespeople do not know how to do an e-announcement, there's a full tutorial here on exactly how to do it. And I've also got notes on structuring, what those emails should look like using the AIDAT formula, if anyone needs help with that. Any questions on e-announcements before we jump into social media?
So if we have Jennifer doing the blog post, can we ask her to do that also as an e-announcement, or how should that work?
Yeah, you're already utilizing her for other services, Yvonne, but yeah, absolutely, you could ask her to do that.
Okay.
Other questions or thoughts on e-announcements? Otherwise, I'm going to jump into Facebook. And we have the Facebook queen on with us this morning, Miss Star Tingle out of Lexington, Kentucky. And so I have your Facebook page pulled up, and you guys, I would say are, more or less hitting it out of the park with Facebook as far as the amount of engagement that you have on Facebook. But Star, can you just give us, tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing and what your strategy is with Facebook on either a daily or weekly basis?
Well, first of all, our strategy is that we're just trying to increase awareness, and that's working because I get at least a couple of phone calls a week, and I ask people, how did you find us? Well, Facebook. But kind of my strategy beyond that is just to keep it real. If I see something I like, I post it. Just for instance, right there you can see where I shared Frank Betts' webpage because I like his stuff. I think it's gorgeous. And we do try to take pictures of the homes that are underway. We put those on there. And then at least once or twice a week we just ask people for their opinion. People love to give their opinion.
So here is, and I wasn't sure, was this a joke? Because this is like
Yes.
a 1-second video. This is great. This is Star's video. 1 second, it's done.
Well, everybody has such a short attention span.
I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and like that because I think that's awesome.
Yeah, we try to show that we're goofy and real and all that.
You do a lot of goofy stuff. That is so cool. So so here's a what do you think? So what did you do? What did you do here with this? What do you think?
Yeah, I just put on there. I'm like, what do you think about this? And I mean, you can see I had 37 likes, 12 people commented, and a share. I mean, and those are good numbers because I don't subscribe to you should do it on Tuesday afternoon. I don't look at any of that stuff. I just do what I love.
Are you posting mostly just from your phone?
Yes.
Okay.
I highly recommend the iPhone 6 Plus. It is you can just live off of it.
So you go out, you're out and about running around, you see something, hey, this is cool. Boom, take a picture of it, post it, and then what do you think? And I noticed also that you've got Tanya. So Tanya produced this. So Tanya and Michelle, are they both posting on your company page as well?
They do. I try to get each of us to put, who's posted something on here, like Tanya did. You can see on that one right there. so that people will know who they're talking to. I'm the one that's not good at it yet because I've been used to doing this on my own for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
But Tanya's really great at it. Michelle's still a little uncomfortable, but she's getting there.
Okay. And so you don't have so how often would you say per week you guys post?
Sometimes I only post a couple of times a week. Sometimes I might post as many as 5 or 6 times. I don't do it a lot more than that. I don't want to blow people up and wear them out. And I do try to put stuff on there that I really think people will have a strong emotion about. Is that the word I'm trying to use? I want them to, like on that house, I asked, I didn't get as many here, but I shared it on my own personal page and I got a ton of response on it. I just asked, should we leave it yellow or go with another color? And people had a strong feeling about that one way or the other. It was interesting.
Okay. Now, one thing question for you is how often do you bring people back to your website, say with an offer of information, whether it be your planning guide or design library or anything like that?
Not often enough.
Okay, so that would be the one area. So I think the lesson here is use images, right, Star?
Yes.
Use images,
definitely.
Ask opinions, be real with it, as you say, be goofy, funny, and to integrate also is that we're talking about relevant here. So you want to get someone who's found you on Facebook or was found you through someone else's timeline or wall. They come to your page, they like your page. How do you pull them off of Facebook and and get them onto your website actually, so you can get them in your database? And so that's where you need to mix in every now and then a link to come back to your website and to offer them again additional relevant content. Download my planning guide. Search our design library with over 2,000 plans. Take our livability at a glance quiz. Those are great resources, and it should be intermittently, put into the rest of these posts where then people will come back to your site and you can capture them.
Yeah, it should. What I have happened a lot of times, and I know this is not the way it's supposed to work, but I live in a small town. I'm out and about a lot, and people recognize me. I mean, I can't go get a pedicure or go to the grocery store without people going, oh, I love what you do, stuff like that. and then I always say to them, you know what, you should really go to my website because I have a lot of nice pictures on there, and there's a lot of fun quizzes you can take, stuff like that. And that's how I get them a lot of times, which I know is not correct. But it's working for me.
If it works, go for it, right? If it works,
right.
go for it. But that's the key. We do events too. Every time we do an event, you have an RSVP page. Simply post the event on Facebook, and then let people, click on that link RSVP, and then you capture them that way too.
Yeah, I do that. I do that, and I also always share it on my personal page. The way I look at it, when you have Facebook for a business, your personal page is also your business.
That is so true.
That's how people get to know me, and I never post anything that's personal. Not that I'm that kind of person would ever do that anyway, but nothing political, nothing religious, nothing anything like that. But I do post about my kids. I try to show that I have a real life, and so I do get. I think I get a lot because of that too.
And I've recommended in the past too that if you want to have put together two different personal accounts, use one for business and one for, your friends, family, your regular personal stuff. Like I do that right now on Facebook. Right now I'm on my business personal account. So one of my other clients, what they do is if their personal account is they will send a friend request to a new prospect, and if they turn into a buyer, then as they take pictures, they'll tag them in those pictures so they go on their wall too through his personal account.
Well, exactly, and you have to do that through your personal account.
Exactly.
Facebook won't let you do it through the business.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep. So lessons here with Facebook is images, keep it real, ask opinions, be fun with it, and then don't forget, whether it's once a week or once every couple of weeks, just to get people back to your website off of Facebook and offer them, again, additional relevant content. Anybody else want to add anything on Facebook that they're doing that they've had some success with? Okay, I'm going to move on to video. So Star is kind of funny because we talked about it last week, and you said, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shoot some videos, some of our completed inventory. And at the same time, I had another client that did the same thing. And we call these a lifestyle video. So this would be from a completed home that you have, and you're going to walk through, and instead of just showing a what do you call it, a picture show or something with a virtual tour where it's just a musical overtone, or it's going to be a just a slideshow where it's going back and forth just with static photos, which is okay. The difference here is now we're going to go through and you're actually going to narrate and or get in front of the camera. So this was a client that I had that this is their first, they call this the rough cut. It's the first one that he's done. He's starting to do these now with anything that gets completed far enough to get staged. And I attempted to try to figure this out if you guys can hear this. I'm not sure if you can, so I'm going to play this video. If you guys can hear it, let me know, and we'll watch the video so you can get an idea of what he did. He did a pretty nice job. If you can't hear it, I'm going to go ahead and send the link out to you so you can get an example of this. So just let me know if you can hear the volume once I start playing it. If it will play. I wonder if this has to do with my computer crashing again. I'll try to redo it here.
Sometimes these things don't want to play well on iPads.
I'm back on my PC now. Here we go.
Oh, there. Okay.
Can you hear it? Can you guys hear it?
No.
You can't?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to try one more thing. Hold on. Anything now?
Nope.
Anything now?
Mm-mm.
Nope. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and send this out. But this is kind of interesting. I'll just walk through this. What he did is he started out where he just did narrative voiceover and just telling a little bit about the location of the home and some of the exterior features. And then he actually got inside in front of the camera and walked through this. So I'll send this link out, but cheap, easy way to take your, whether it's a model home or it's a spec homes for sale, and just to walk through. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to demonstrate the lifestyle. So a couple of things that I mentioned to Star you may want to jot down here as far as if you're going to do something like this. Number one is it doesn't have to be perfect. You can shoot it with an iPhone or a camera, like a HD camera with video. Number two, focus on style and design first, and then you reinforce with value-added features. So just like you're doing a educational walkthrough or a model home demonstration, you first focus on, hey, why was the space designed the way it was designed? So in this picture right here, Brooks is talking about the gathering area of the integration between the dining, kitchen, and great room, and how that can be expanded for entertaining, extended family. So he's focused on entertaining first. Then he goes in and he'll walk through a little bit more, showcase this, and then they just sort of do a pan of what the great room is. So from there, I want to say he goes to talking about the great room, and I think he goes to he's in the master bedroom here. So talking about again how the furniture can be arranged in the master bedroom, the owner's suite. Talking about some things in the bathroom. So what are the key focus areas? You're going to do these videos. Should be exterior. Starting with exterior, doing then gathering areas, so kitchens, great rooms, hearth rooms, that sort of thing. Then focusing on probably the owner's suite. And then if you have some sort of de-stressing areas like, say, front porch, back porch, deck, reading area, anything like that, that's what I would focus on. And you're pointing out, again, entertaining spaces, de-stressing areas, storage and convenience, and flexible living. Flexible living, if you have some sort of an office, den, some sort of space in your home that could be used for multiple purposes. So you're going to stage it one way in the video or in your home. Hey, we were showing this space to be used as a blank, but you could also use it as this, or this. And then let's keep moving through the video. He gets in the garage a little bit. So Seattle. Garages are used for anything but cars. It's kind of weird. A lot of people in Seattle, they don't have really have basements there, so a lot of times garages use more storage or even outdoor living spaces. So he's, again, discussing here how this garage could be used and the size of it. And then at the end, he goes back, and then they just do a simple, put the logo up there, phone number. I think if I play this again, go right here. Yeah, this is the salesperson, website, phone number, and that's really the end of it. Now, one thing I did mention to Star yesterday, and is that my assistant Nita, she does video editing. So if you guys ever want to shoot something like this and you want to have it edited, we do have all the editing software, and she can edit it for you, and she's very quick and she's very cheap. So if you're interested in doing something like this, just get us the raw footage. We can give you the guidance with this to sort of see how it should go together, and then we'll edit it up for you and make it pretty.
I asked first. I'm first in line.
Star is first in line. Yeah, she did ask. But what a tremendous resource to be using YouTube and things like this, because, again, this speaks to everything. Design, I can talk about the location again, and I can talk about price as some of the different features in the home and how that affects price. And, again, remember, this is the only online medium that you get all three forms of communication. They're gonna hear you with the spoken word. They're gonna hear the tone of voice, and then they can see your body language as you're walking through the home. So, any other questions on video? And yes, I would be asking salespeople to do this. There's no reason why they can't do it.
It is pretty easy, I have to say. I basically sat down and typed out a script about the house. It took me probably 30 minutes. And then I did an introductory in front of the camera, and then I took some photos, and I did a voiceover, and it really did not take, it took a long time because it was my first one. I think that once I get it down, it will be very simple.
Yep. And this client here, he actually has a videographer that he'll come in and he does the photo shoots too for the home. So when the home is done, they schedule the photo shoot. Then he'll create the slideshow from that, the virtual tour slideshow. And then what will happen is Brooke shows up and they do the lifestyle tour. So they're killing like 3 birds with 1 stone. So if you guys do have people that are already doing professional photographs, they probably have video equipment too, where you could shoot this video at the same time. Anything else on videos? All right, one other note on videos. Try to keep the length, at around 3.5 minutes. I think this one is about 3:39. That's probably the max. If it gets longer than that, then just break up the interior and exterior.
Oh, I know what I want to say. I asked Adriana if I'm going to try to do about 4 videos for each home, and I'm going to have them put them on my website on available homes.
Yeah, great idea.
And I think that people will like buying a house that way a lot better.
Which brings me right to my next one, which is Pinterest. For Pinterest, yeah, Pinterest is awesome. I wish I could probably tell you 5 or 6 different success stories of people selling homes because of a Pinterest board in 2014. So Pinterest continues to gain traction, and it's very simple the way you do a Pinterest board. It doesn't matter if you're building a spec home, model home, or this is a pre-sold for someone. You're going to create a board for Pinterest, and then what I would suggest doing is have your designer start by putting selections on there, like we're showing here. So I've got light fixtures, cabinet colors, tile, everything that's going into that home. I could have a rendering on here, floor plan. If it's for sale, I could even put a little map location here, and as far as where the lot is in the neighborhood. And then, as you can see, these were all pinned by Powell, so the designer did these to start with. Once the home starts construction, then here you're seeing the salesperson. She just has the Pinterest app on her iPhone, and she's taking pictures and uploading them to the appropriate board, and then just putting captions in as we go. So the idea here now is I take my available homes, which is one of the heaviest used sections in your website, and I can have a Pinterest board on there which will showcase the finishes of the home, even if it's 2, 3, 4, 5 months before it's completed. Then I add the progress photos as they come along from construction as a salesperson. Once a week the salesperson, she's just out there taking pictures, uploading them. And so I can have realtors follow this, I could have prospective people following this, but I just put that link right on my available homes page and let them click on that link and follow the board. Of course, if it's for sale when it's home, then I can tie in my event grand opening to this. Or if it's a pre-sold home for a customer, I've just created a record of all the finishes in that home along with a photo record of the construction progress. And so their friends and family can follow it, and you can still tie it into an open house. So from a salesperson's perspective, how do I create value? Get out on the job sites on a regular basis, take pictures of the jobs, and then upload them to a Pinterest board, like this, and then make sure every customer or home that's for sale has a link to the Pinterest board where somebody can see it. And I tell you one thing here, transferee out-of-town people love this. Absolutely love this, because they can get a real good idea of what they're getting without being there. Very simple to set up and do as well. So this one, as you can see right now, has got 27 people following this board, and that's about average for this builder that's building a lot of spec homes. Questions on Pinterest? Okay, let's talk about house. Yvonne, I've got you pulled up on house because you are my house queen. So you want to give us a little background, Yvonne, on house and kind of what you're doing from a salesperson's perspective? Because I was noticing on your comments here, you were replying to questions and comments yesterday on your house board here. So tell us how you guys are using house from a sales perspective.
Well, House has a couple of options. You can just be a regular user, or you can become a professional, and we do pay an additional amount so that we are listed as a professional. So if someone is searching in whatever area, it picks up their IP address, determines that whatever it is wherever they are, and then it starts shooting them all on the banner ads. You'll see those popping up.
Mm-hmm. I'd say that.
The other thing is, it's an opportunity, because anybody that calls in, that's a lot of times they're already on House, and it gives me an opportunity to say, have you been to our House page? And you can look at us there as well, and it just gives you more credibility and that sort of thing. And like Rick just said, I do try to answer the questions. It's one of those things. It's good that you have interaction, and yet at the same time, it's something that can take a lot of time. So you just have to be really careful about how much time you spend on that. We use it a lot in our design process once a client becomes one of our clients as well. So we use it for a lot of different ways, but it's great to have on your website. And we were given a best of House in 2014 and 2015. I don't know if, Rick, you probably can't from your standpoint, but there's a back end, a dashboard that I can look at, and I can see how many times my pictures have been viewed and all of that sort of thing. So from a salesperson's perspective, I use it more when I get the initial call to try to get people to go look at House, and that way they're just looking at photos of various homes that we've done.
Yep, and I had another client who was doing the same thing, Yvonne, is that they find out have they seen House, and if they haven't, between the phone call and the first meeting, they would make sure that they would send them a link to their House page. So they could see some more ideas. Now, the other thing that I'll mention on here that's very important is reviews. As a salesperson, there's no reason why you cannot be requesting reviews from your buyers for your House page. House is really, I can't remember the statistics this year, but it's something that, the users right now in House, I think, are in the millions, Yvonne. You might know more than I do.
Yeah,
but it went
it's
from
crazy. It's
really growing, like leaps and bounds. And so the amount of people viewing your House page continues to go up and up and up. So reviews are very, very important. If you want to get people to pick up the phone or to click through to your website, this is the confidence builder right here. I would say the goal should always be to try to get 10 reviews on House. try to get 10 of them. And as a salesperson, all you have to do is have the link for your house page for the reviews and send that to your buyers. You know, that again is a huge value-added thing. So it ties in both ways, right? I'm getting reviews from my buyers, which are pumping up my credibility. Now, as I get prospects in, whether they're walking in the model home or I'm talking to them on the phone, I'm going to make sure I get them back to my house page. So they see those reviews, they see, you know, the badges, whatever I have, and then now that continues to add value that, hey, I am a real powerhouse builder in my local marketplace, and I'm probably the one that they should be talking to.
So how can you urge people to do the reviews? I'm not exactly sure how to do that.
I would.
Oh, I beg.
What was that?
I beg.
Well, that, and I mean, it's really easy from the House website because you can go in there and you can request, and you can, so I usually try to every month or so send out a group email. It has a little thing that says, would you please review me on House, that sort of a thing, and send it to a group of people. And like was indicated, if you can say, you know, whatever you're going to give them for doing that, that's great. I also try to use some of my like vendor partners. I know not so that you get a mix of people that you're doing it with. Yes.
I would say the simplest solution is you guys are using the rewards program. Give them 25 reward points for filling out a house review or a Google Plus review. And that's something I'm working on with Runa right now. Is you can arbitrarily give points for anything you want in the rewards program. So as a matter of fact, on the emails that go out for the surveys, you could just put the house link right in that email.
Right.
And then you could say, yeah, if you click, we appreciate your feedback. If you leave us a review on house, we'll give you an additional 25 points, and plus with the survey we have that we'll put on our website. Google Plus is Google Plus Local is another good one for that as well. So it doesn't take much time, and it's incredibly important. And salespeople can be doing this, all day long. We're going to finish up with events. I wasn't going to go into LinkedIn, but since we got a late start, I'm going to go right to events. And one of the things that I want to pull up here is something that Yvonne put together regarding events. Let me pull up in online learning. We have under special programs, we have a link for events. And of course, I talk about the 5 different types of what we'll call them as templates, different event programs we have in here. But Yvonne came up, I thought, with some really good ideas that we discussed. She put together a whole schedule here, and she's using vendor showrooms. She's doing some construction walkthroughs, things on design, technology, outdoor spaces. And Yvonne, maybe you can kind of just walk through what you did here. And I know you've got you had your construction walkthrough in January, and I know you're taking RSVPs right now for the February 17th technology event.
Yes. We just try to change it up so that it's something different, so it depends upon where somebody is in the whole prospective pipeline. If the guy, we try to do kind of a guy thing, and if it's design, then we try to do more of a woman thing, so that way it kind of meets whatever need that they have during that. And we just sat down and thought, who could we partner with?
And from the construction walkthrough, what do you normally get for attendance?
Probably 20-ish couples or units.
I'm getting some feedback from somebody too. We're getting some echo. You might want to mute yourself if you're not talking. I think we got it. We did.
Okay.
So you had about 20 people, you said, in January?
Yes. Well, 20 like couples or units, however you want to.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then like the one we're looking at outdoor spaces, we're going to try to get people that we've done their homes for maybe several years ago even, and if they have a pool area or a nice landscape or something like that. Once again, it's not really so much house, but obviously it ties into that, and it's another opportunity for us to interface with someone.
Yeah, that reminds me, Robin from Pratt, were you the one telling me that you were looking at doing like something like that with porches, where you had 2 or 3 porches that you were going to try to showcase, you like a progressive tour of porches?
Yes, we're still scheduling that to do it in May.
Okay, more of
So
a...
we have a development that it's an older development that people last year in the past couple of years we've had so many people convert these porches or decks. Actually, they were decks to 3 or 4 season porches. So I thought, God, I think I'll just have where they come and they go a progressive, where they go from one home to another. So I have 3 homes that we're going to be showing, and at 3 different style of conversions.
Yeah, it's a great. I love that idea. I mean,
yeah, and they just have to go to one, and they can walk actually from one home to another.
Yep.
So I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Star, you've talked about doing that too. I think you have a couple of things you're doubling up on as far as events coming up here too. What is the bottom line here? The bottom line is do something every month. And as a salesperson, it's really your responsibility, to get that done on a monthly basis, because ultimately you're the one that probably is going to get the biggest benefit from it. Company-wide, great, but it shouldn't really rest just on the owner's shoulders. It should be the salespeople pushing for this. So you've got everything available to you. You've got the training, you've got the tool to set up the events. It's just, do something as simple as like Yvonne did and put together a schedule and say, here's things I'm thinking of. And we can fill in the dates as we go, as we meet each month. So I thought this was some great ideas here, Yvonne.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to have anything they want to share on events or questions on events? So I'm going to recap because my technology platform completely fell apart. So we'll talk about, so what are the 3 ways that salespeople can build value on a regular basis? Number 1 is going to be e-announcements. And make sure you send an e-announcement out each and every month. There's information right here in Online Learning under e-announcements. You can download this resource guide for a tutorial with different ideas on how to do that. Number 2 is going to be social media. So Starry gave some great tips for Facebook. We talked about some video. We talked about Pinterest boards, again, making sure you are updating those on a regular basis and creating them for each home. And then we talked about house and different things to do with house. And then finally, events. Same thing in Online Learning. We've got good tutorials in here under special programs if you click on events. And the different event templates we have set up. And we also have salesperson event management tutorial for how to make the most out of events, pre-event, promotion, during the event and post-event strategies for converting those leads into prospects. So all these tools are there. Make sure you get out and use them. And of course, by doing this, as you guys know that have done events for quite a while, you get to the point where, again, it's a little bit hard to get that flywheel going to get good attendance there. But once you start doing them on a regular basis, the attendance is pretty good. And for those of you that are really been doing them a while, you probably are noticing that almost every single one of your buyers has at some point attended an event. So it's a great way to build value because people can see it, touch it, feel it. Sometimes they can hear from your clients, listen to your designers, meet the builder, and it's a very, very powerful medium to take advantage of. That's it for today. Final questions or thoughts anybody else wants to share?
Hey, Rick, this is Denny. I have just a general question.
Mm-hmm.
You have these web events every Thursday at 10. And can you go over what happens in week 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Yep, I have it right here on the schedule. So the first Thursday of the month, we do owner-manager. Second Thursday is salesperson coaching. This is second Thursday. The third Thursday and Friday of the month, we do your monthly company review. And then the fourth Thursday of the month is the roundtable open forum. So from a salesperson's perspective, Danny, really the second and fourth Thursday of the month are designed pretty much for salespeople. First one of the month is owner-manager, and then the third one is really owner-manager as well. But if you want to invite salespeople to attend a company review, that's great. It's really designed more, though, for probably your online sales counselor and you as an owner-manager.
Well, we're going to use your recordings and give them to the salespeople to report on. So we'll focus on the second and third months, second and fourth.
Yep. And I did record this session, and I'll be putting it out in the email for Monday morning.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anything else from everyone?
Hopefully you won't have any more computer issues today.
Well, I do use a Microsoft machine, so that's all bets are off on that one. Thank you very much. Apologize again for my technical problems at the beginning here. Hopefully we got something out. And again, I did record this. You got something on it today. I did record it, and I'll send it out on Monday morning with the email. So have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.